Good morning, guys. How are you this morning? Hope everybody's doing well. Today is Living Well with Bob, The Good Life with Bob. And part of that is, part of living a good life is to be financially good. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to bring you some information about. We're going to talk about life insurance today. Don't turn, don't go off. Let's talk about this today because that's part of having a good life, being financially secure. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why you should buy and when you should buy. Okay, and in most cases, I recommend term because term life insurance is cheaper. You get more for your money. Okay, so that's that. We'll get that out of the way. So most of what I'm talking to you about today is term life insurance, but I'm going to also give you some tips today on how to supercharge it. Okay, make it not only a death benefit, which is in itself the right thing to do, because again, the reason we buy life insurance is to, one, protect our income, okay, for the ones that are left behind, and to make sure that our loved ones are okay financially, even in death, okay? So just the pure term, just the pure life insurance coverage where you can leave a large sum of money to your family is in itself enough, okay? But let's kind of talk about some things that can happen with most life insurance policies, permanent coverage or term, okay? But we're going to talk about term today because that, like I said, when I talk to my clients, I talk to my clients about term life insurance, pure coverage, okay? But what we're going to talk about today is we're going to use this session to talk about some things to supercharge, some riders that you can add that makes it not only a benefit to, and keep in mind what I'm saying, not only, because it doesn't take away, it not only makes it a benefit to protect your income, to leave your income, to make sure to replace your income in the case of, God forbid, a death, but it also gives you some life benefits, okay? So today what we're going to talk about are some riders that I think when I talk to you or when you talk to anybody that you trust to consult with on this, then you should talk to them about a few of these riders, okay? One is adding a rider for disability, okay? So adding a rider for if you are disabled means simply, and I made some notes here, it'll provide a monthly benefit, often a percentage of the policy value, okay, if you're disabled. So what that means is, if you're disabled and you have a pretty large sum, $300, $500, $1 million in coverage, the insurance company will pay on a monthly basis a percentage of that value of your policy value. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that if you're disabled for 6 months or longer, then the insurance company is going to pay you money. Okay, they're going to pay you to take care of things. So an example of why that's important. I saw a story talking about a person that had developed cancer, okay? Disability, both. We've got terminal illness, we've got disability, okay? In that scenario. So they developed cancer and couldn't work, had no income, okay? So what happens? You start to lose things. So not only if you do not have adequate coverage to make sure if something happens to me and there's a death, I leave my family nothing. But in that case where you become disabled or you develop a terminal illness, you not only not have income, or you not only get to the point where you're not going to leave them anything, but you also start to become a drain on the resources that are left. Okay? So I'm sick, I need constant care, but I have no money. I have no savings, and I have nothing to cover that. Okay? So now your family is not only left with the fact that the income will be gone, but the drain on whatever resources we had will start to happen. Okay? So you start to take away from your family instead of adding to your family and making sure they're okay. So let's recap. Disability is not death. Disability is the death of your income a lot of times, and the death of any type of support for the family or assistance with the family. So you start to drain the family, okay? With the disability rider on your life insurance policy, whether it be permanent or term, that pays you money, and you can actually help to support your family even in a disability. Okay, everybody get that? Now I'm going to leave contact information in the notes section here. Well, not the comment section, but the notes section, and so you'll be able to contact me, and I'll consult with you no matter what. And my consultations are free, and I'll talk to you about this a little bit more. So that's the disability rider that we add to these policies, which kind of makes it, turbocharged. Okay, but we talked about this a little bit, and that's the terminal illness rider. Okay, so terminal illness rider. Now, you add a terminal illness rider. Now, it performs basically the same way that the disability rider performs. But say in that same scenario that I mentioned before, you develop cancer. Okay, what the terminal illness rider will do is it will allow you to access part of your death benefit while alive if diagnosed with the terminal illness. So what that means is, if you've got a life insurance policy and you've got a terminal illness rider, now this isn't going to add a lot to your premium. It's really not. If you do it together. Now, if you try to do it separately and say, I've got an insurance policy, but I'm going to buy a terminal illness policy or a disability policy separate, okay, or try to get it now, it's going to cost a little more. So the best way to do it is to get it when you initially set up your life insurance policy. But what that would do is the terminal illness policy rider would do is they would say, okay, well, you got $300, $500, $1 million in coverage. Here's we're going to give you a lump sum of money. Okay, that would be, it's going to be deducted from your death benefit. So say you have $500,000 and they give you $200,000. The insurance company gives you $200,000. Okay, that means your death benefit is now $300,000 if ultimately you pass away. But for right now, you've got $200,000 to take care of your family, to help with support with caring for you, to help with all types of different life issues that money solves. Okay? So this is what you're doing. When you're doing this, this is what you're thinking about. Okay? So when it talks about cost effectiveness and all that stuff, and that's a little in the weeds and detailed, but the cost effectiveness with it is that simply the way you purchase it, or you set up your contracts in the beginning in a package when you get your life insurance. That's the best way, the most prudent way to do it, okay, to buy it, okay? So, and I understand life is tough, things are tough, and I know a lot of times we look at, okay, well, I get a lot of I can't afford it. Okay, I get a lot of that. And I just simply tell my clients, who ultimately becomes my clients because they understand the importance of this in taking care of their families. So they ultimately, I just say, listen, you can't afford not to do this, because if think about it, if you're struggling right now, or things are tough and things are tight right now, and say you have two incomes or one income that takes care of the family. In the case of two incomes, one of those incomes is gone. Okay, so if it's tough now with two incomes and one is gone, think about how tough it is then. Okay, so when you say it, can't afford it, things are tough, it's tough now. So think about if one of those incomes are gone. Now, different scenario. Think about if you've got one income, okay, and that one income suddenly evaporates because of an illness, because of a terminal illness, or a disability. Now think about that. And when you think about that, a few $100, $100, a few $100 a month doesn't seem like a lot of money in the scheme of things, in the scheme of what could happen if I become disabled for a period of time, or if I become terminally ill, or both. I'm disabled because of a terminal illness. Okay? So that's what we're looking at when we're talking about that. And that's why I thought I would I've talked about this before, but in the context of other things, in building wealth and all that stuff, you want to do this because this is a wealth building tool. There's no doubt about it. This is a wealth building tool because it's a backup to while you're on your way to wealth. So if any of this stuff happens while you're on your way to building that business or building your career, then this is a backup, a stopgap measure to help you to continue on that journey. Because if you don't have this and you're on your journey to building wealth and having a good life, I mean, that's part of it. I want to share with you the parts. When I say good life, this is a huge part of it. Having that drain on your psyche, that finances are tough and getting tougher. So if you want to have a good life and be able to enjoy your life, have your spouse, your children watch you enjoy your life, have some of the things in life that you want to, and you want to experience joy, then this is one hugely important step in getting there and doing that. So that's why I'm bringing this to you today, and I want to talk kind of in depth about this. There's some other things in here where you can actually get a waiver of premium rider on there, which doesn't cost a lot more. To do that, you add a waiver of premium, which simply means if I become terminally ill or disabled, I don't have to pay any more premium. The insurance company pays the premium for me. Okay, so I've got the waiver of premium, I've got terminal illness, I've got disability on this, I've got a pretty good face value on my policy. I've got, so you just don't understand if you don't have it now, and I'm hoping a lot of you do, and we probably need to just adjust some things, but you would not understand how this makes you feel, how this gives you serenity, and it makes you feel that if anything, some people go through life feeling like, oh my God, if anything, if I get sick, my family is actually in real big trouble. That's how they go through life. That my family is in really, really big trouble if something happens to me, if I'm terminally ill, or if I develop some sort of disability. So that's, you don't want to feel that way just to save $150 per month. When we spend that on one less beer, go to one less dinner a month, go to one less theater opening, or buy one less thing, gadget for the car or something like that, and you've got this taken care of, and that takes care of your family. So that's why I thought that I would bring this to you today and kind of bring something. I mean, most of what we want to talk about is lighthearted, and I'm on my channel. We're gonna do a lot of different things. As you can see, if you go through my channel, you'll see we do a lot of different things. We'll show you once a month. We're gonna do some ratings on some of the famous restaurants that are advertising different things. We're gonna tell you how we feel about them. We're going to talk about some recipes. I talk about recipes. I'm going to talk about shopping and let you know where's cheaper, who's cheaper. So there's a lot of things we're going to do. I'm going to bring my wife in. Finally she's agreed that she's going to come in and do some taping with me. So you'll see my wife, Lori. And so there's going to be a lot of things that's lighthearted. This is one of those serious things that really needs to be considered if it hasn't been in the past. So I thought I would bring this to you today because this is part of my life. This is part of my life. This is part of what makes my life good. This is part of what I've considered to make my life good. So when I mention a good life with Bob, this is a part of it. This is what makes it a good life. My financial well-being. Now, okay, let's make it clear. I'm not wealthy. I'm not wealthy. I do okay financially, but I'm not rich. I do okay with earning money. Okay, and there are a lot of things that financially people have to worry about. We don't. So we have children. We both work. Okay, we both work. We're not at the point where the savings that we should have at 62 is there. It's not there. It's not there. We live we lived too much of a good life. We spent way too much money. But we're at the point now where we're building it up, and by the time we're ready to think about retiring at 65 for my wife, I think 65, 66, I think she says, and about 70 for me, we will be okay with the amount of savings we need. And I think we'll be okay with the money that we need if something happens to us. Our life insurance is in place. We have that. So that's been in place for 25, 30 years. So we've got that. And we've had term life insurance renewed every 15 to 20 years. So we've been healthy. Now, and in a future video, we're going to talk about permanent life insurance, because there are some uses for permanent life insurance, and yeah, I'm not going to tell you there's not. In a lot of cases, though, term life insurance will suffice. It will be what you need, and it's affordable. A lot of times you may need permanent life insurance with all of these things added to it: the disability rider, the waiver premium, and the terminal illness riders. But that's terribly expensive, and you can't afford it. And that's, if you can't afford it, there's no need to start it, because there's nothing that I'm going to advise that you start that unless we can see long term that this is something that you will be able to sustain. Okay, so but in a future video, we're going to talk about permanent life insurance versus term life insurance. In my mind, term life insurance always wins out. If you can get a 30-year renewable term with all of these riders, hey, you've got an awesome contract, an awesome program that won't cost you a lot of money. You'll be very surprised. Now, term rates have increased. They have increased, but they're still affordable, and they're still, I think, with most financial consultants, that's what they'll recommend to you. Buy term, invest and save, and add these riders to them so that you have backup for the things in life. These are living benefits that don't depend on someone dying. So with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe to my channel if you like what you hear. And also, like I said in every video, if you haven't done it yet, start a YouTube channel. Give us some information that you may have, life lessons you've learned, and just let us peer into your life just a little bit. Like I said, the good, the bad, and the ugly, that's fine. We want to see it. We're family now. So I will see you guys on the next video, and happy hunting, guys.